What's your name?
My full name?
Yes.
Diana Dorsey.
And where were you born and where were you raised?
I was born in Mexico, Guadalajara, Jalisco, and I was raised in North Oakland.
And where do you call home?
That's a pretty tricky question.
I know, right?
I call home Vegas.
Okay. So now you live in Vegas.
Now I live in Vegas, so that's my home.
Okay. And what is your official title if we were to put it on paper?
That's a question I've been going back lately now that I've been going into public speaking. I'm leaning more towards wedding expert.
Okay. We can work on that too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what year did you start doing what you do?
It started in 2011 and then it launched in 2014.
Okay. And what are your past positions, like previous jobs?
How far do we go back?
I mean, as far as you want.
Oh shit,
Okay, let's start with this one. Before you went full-time into wedding planning, what were you doing before?
Before I was a preschool teacher.
Okay.
And a choreographer.
Okay. And what is it that you do exactly right now as a wedding planner?
Well, as a wedding planner, I help my couples plan their wedding and I execute their wedding. And I also do special events, so I plan the events and execute the events.
And what is the main problem that you're solving for your clients?
I think generally it's just them feeling overwhelmed, not knowing where to start, reassuring them because sometimes they don't even know if they're doing it right. So it's just guiding them, educating them, and then most importantly, thank you, just giving them that peace of mind the day of. So being able to let them just enjoy, relax, and know that they can trust me and, you know, all the vendors that are a part of the team. That's pretty much what we're doing.
All right. And how did you get into this? How did you start doing it?
Well, I think there's a couple of things, life events in my life that I think led me to this. I think the first one is doing waltzes for quinceañeras, having that passion for dancing. I think that if I wasn't dancing and if I hadn't met my husband, I would probably, I wanted to go into competition and dancing and ballroom and all that, and I was doing it. I went back to school to do that, and then I met him, and then I said, fuck it, whatever, like I'm just gonna date this man every weekend instead of going to dance class. But since I was 15, after I had my quinceañera, I was like, oh, I like what my waltz instructor is doing. So we hired an instructor for my quince, and I was like, I love what he's doing. I want to do that. And so then the next quinceañera came along, and I was like, let me do your shit. Like, I want to do your quinceañera waltz. And that's how it started. And then little by little, that started picking up. Even after I had an AE and I was already working at the district as a preschool teacher assistant. No, I'm sorry. It was the Vera Casey Center, which was infants and toddlers. And so then that became a little hard because teaching kids and trying to get them all on the same page was a little difficult. So I was like, this isn't for me. And then I finished my child development degree and became a teacher in 2003. And then I did that and totally just left events alone. And then I went into the ballroom stuff. I met Ryan, and that happened. We got engaged and I planned my wedding and I loved it so much, and I didn't want the wedding day to come because I didn't want to end planning, and got married in February, and in March I filed my fictitious business name. Like
that quickly?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's how I was like, I want to keep doing this shit. I don't want to stop.
Okay. Wow.
And so February, March, and then I was like, okay, I got to start from free. So I offered like my services like on Facebook to friends and family. Did my first 3 weddings for free, and then here we are.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you filed right away.
Right away.
That's so crazy.
Right away. I didn't waste any time.
Mm-hmm.
I was really sad when my planning was coming to an end. I was like, now what the fuck, this has been so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I gonna do now with my life other than work and family? Like, I want to plan a wedding.
That's so funny. Well, that goes into the next question. Like, why do you do this? Why do you love it? Like, deep down, like, what is it about this that why?
I love it so much because I get to see people come together, people have fun, people cry, but for good reasons, and everything is just so beautiful and extravagant. And since I was little, I've always loved big poofy dresses and extravagant this. And if anybody knows Diana Salazar, the novela, like that has, I mean, till this day, are you kidding me? I was 5 years old, and that still like has made such an impact on me. And I loved everything just extravagant and over the top, and this allows me to do that. I've also always been very a control freak, very like organized, and so I think while planning my wedding, I discovered like, holy shit, like it's extravagant. I get to be a freaking perfectionist, organized, boss people around. Like, this is everything I want. Travel, are you kidding me? This is like amazing.
That's awesome. And if you were to pick your favorite part about it, like the thing that fires you up, what is the thing that fires you up about it the most?
I think the bird is on top of the umbrella. I don't know where that thing is. Oh my god.
That's gonna be funny when I transcribe this.
That's hilarious. It depends on the service. If it's a full service, it's seeing it come to life, knowing that I was a part of every little thing, from big to small. So it's just seeing that come to life. If it's month of, it's seeing my couples happy, seeing them just have a good time. And what adds a little bit more to it is when I meet moms or dads and they're just like, oh my gosh, she was amazing. So like just everyone just so happy that day and knowing that they didn't have to worry about anything. That is my biggest takeaway. That the day of, they're just like, it was so worth it.
Would you say that's like the main part?
That's like the main part. And you know, there's been times where I've had to prove myself wrong, especially to grooms, where they're like, why are we fucking hiring a coordinator? And then they're like, oh my god. And that's like my okay, see?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you do this for any particular people? Is it everyone? Like, who do you provide this service for?
What do you mean?
So like, I guess like, do you have a particular type of people that you work with, or do you work with anyone? Or?
So as far as gender and personal preferences, everyone. Love is love. That's one of my favorite hashtags. But when it comes to budget, it really just depends on the couple, because some couples, even though they're having a low as budget wedding, they see the value and they'll pay my fees.
Okay.
But most of my clients, their budgets are like $50K and up.
Okay. I'll figure out how to word that later.
Yeah.
And then of course some of this stuff makes it in the bio, some of it doesn't. It just helps me create a story.
Yeah. I guess you can kind of say, like, you know, like it just really, my couples are the couples that value my service and what I do.
Okay.
Whether it's
so they're already educated on this subject, perhaps.
That, or sometimes I have to educate them. You know, because sometimes they'll on my questionnaire they'll be like, "Oh, our budget is $1,500," and I'm like, "Okay, like it's you know." So I have to educate them, or they'll be like, "We want day of coordinator," and I'm like, "I don't do day of."
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Like them being able to see the value.
Okay. And then as far as like your, you know, you obviously you're good at this. What do you think, like, of your skills or abilities? What makes you good at this?
That's a great question. I think what makes me different is me. Like me, my personality. Yeah. Like, absolutely. You know, like just being patient, open-minded, calm, fun, like flexible. I think a lot of my couples appreciate that, especially because I have a lot of couples that are from like out of state, different time zones.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like that flexibility, like like my philosophy.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I believe this is your day, this is your wedding. It's we want it to be what you envision, but if I see something that I know it's not going to work, I'm going to tell you. So I'm
Okay.
educating you as to
Okay.
why it's not going to work.
All right.
Yeah.
And okay. So, is there any particular skill that you have that really just stands out?
I think the day of is like where people are seeing me in action.
So, would you say that your like the skill that stands out is
Execution.
organization? Okay, execution.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I went to this one networking event and they were asking all the vendors, what's your superpower?
Mhm.
And I said execution,
Okay.
which is funny because it could be a good and bad thing. Like
Oh God.
And I love both of them.
That's hilarious.
I can fucking kill you or I can fucking execute.
You're so funny. Okay. And what certifications do you hold, or any special training that you have? Like, you know, if I were to write this out.
Yeah. Well, I have an AA in child development,
Mhm.
which I think also helps me with adults. And my business degree, my bachelor's degree in business administration,
Mhm.
my certificate as a wedding planner.
What is that? Who's the institution?
Holy moly. It's
Okay,
like,
we'll get that later.
yeah, it's like,
No worries.
yeah, I don't even
No worries.
remember.
Anything else? The special training certifications. Do you have any others?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
those
right.
are the
We'll
only
get to
ones.
the other stuff that you are like a member of. We'll get to that one like a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay. What are you most passionate about? Just in general.
Just in general,
Mhm.
man, I love life. I love life. I love living. I love getting. You know, and of course that changes as you get older.
Mhm.
You know, it's going to change. But I think right now I'm in the time, in a moment in life where I'm just so grateful for where I am. Like I said, and I've said this before. Like if I die today, I'm happy, and I'm just very passionate about just living, and just being happy, and I don't know. It's weird. I can't really
I
explain
know
it.
that's a hard question. Some of these are hard because I don't know how to answer some of them either. So
Yeah.
all
Like,
right.
That's what. Like I just want to live.
So let me ask you this then. If we're talking about a passion that you have that connects to your work and complements your work, what would that be?
A passion that I have.
That it associates or helps with the work that you do.
Oh, I love to mingle. I love to
Okay.
fucking host. I love to go out. I love
Okay.
to have fun. Like that's never gonna change. Like
Okay.
I'm always gonna be at the club or at a restaurant or you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
drinking, hosting.
That's awesome. Okay. What are your proudest accomplishments?
I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry.
It's okay.
Are you kidding me? Gosh,
A lot, huh?
a lot.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, it's just been amazing. Wow. Honestly,
I knew we were
just
gonna get emotional.
to be where I am today.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
I mean, what can I say? Like everything I've wanted, like, you know, even buying like my first pair of red bottoms, that was like a big, like, you know, I think before it was like just maybe just talk or whatever, but just being able to make it happen, it's a big deal. And I know that's not a big deal for everyone, but just knowing where we've come from, it's a big deal for me. It's, you know, being able to go to restaurants and get whatever we want, or, you know, that's a, I guess I can say is just being able to feel free. Yes, we have debt, whatever, but like just not being like counting pennies is a big accomplishment.
Okay.
And growing my team, are you kidding me?
growing a team.
Yeah. I think the biggest one is lately, right now, is being able to afford someone to help me. That was a big one. That was scary.
Okay, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
And what do you want people to remember you for? Like, what do you want to be known for?
I'm gonna free.
Do you see why I was crying with Uli? I was like, oh my god, I've never heard you talk like this before. But anyway, it's not about Uli, it's about you.
That I love people and that I was happy. I'm gonna cry so much. Oh my god. Like, if I was to die, I want people to know that I was happy that I lived my life. And I want them to fucking have a party when I die. Like, I want you to fucking party and not wear black. That's what I want. That I cared and that I loved life.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're in there like, what are those bitches doing?
No, they don't get it. And then, like, what about in like your industry? Like, what do you want to be remembered for in your industry?
Someone that was always supportive and open, because there's a lot of fucking people that won't share anything, won't give you their little secret. And for me, it's like, it's always been community over competition.